So just to go back to my previous video for a second, we talked about superpowers for ADHD individuals and how that can help them excel in life. The natural solutions are going to help boost their focus and reduce anxiety without meds. We're going to support the body's natural processes. We're going to focus on how we can heighten the body's ability to manage the way that it functions. Your natural remedies are going to be combined with, of course, better habits, but lifestyle and dietary changes. All right, my favorite topic about ADHD is natural remedies and natural supplements. This is my favorite part. I know I just said that, I'm gonna say it again. It's my favorite part because it has the potential of making huge changes. If it was just as easy as putting something good on our mouth and having a noticeable difference, how wonderful is that? I guess the only skill you'd have to learn there with supplements is get yourself a pill box and put the pills in there so that you can take them every day. So let's get into this. The main purpose of nutritional supplementation is, again, improving quality of life and possibly either helping medications work better or not having to be dependent on medications. So we're going to share some of the best vitamins, supplements, and natural remedies that can help you or your child. All right, the top natural vitamins and supplements for ADHD that I like to go to would be first, number one uno would be L-theanine, because L-theanine calms your nervous system down and supports your serotonin and dopamine functions. Oftentimes when people in particular ADHD situations get put on medications, they get put on what's called an SSRI, which is a type of depression medication that focuses on serotonin. And the truth of it is that oftentimes it's more of a dopamine issue. And both need to be looked at, serotonin and dopamine, and both need to be supported and addressed. But depression medication is not always what you want to be putting somebody with ADHD on. So L-theanine hops in there and is a precursor for serotonin. So your body creates healthy serotonin. And then it's also a precursor for melatonin. What do we like to use before we go to bed in our brain? Our pineal kicks on, creates melatonin, and then it tells the brain to go to sleep. But if we're not making enough melatonin, then we lay awake and have a hard time going to sleep. So L-theanine is a great supplement to push in there. Helps support serotonin, you're happier, and melatonin. But the great thing is your body doesn't overmake either of those because it can regulate the L-theanine as it's a precursor. So when you take a melatonin supplement to try to invoke sleep, sometimes it can become habit forming and over time becomes less effective. So we always like to hit L-theanine first because it has more benefits, and then we simply move into melatonin only in an emergency case. But L-theanine works day and night. You can take that preferably empty stomach before bed. If it's a child, it comes in a powder, virtually tasteless. Mix it in some water, it's great. It absorbs better on an empty stomach, but can still be used with food if you can't separate those. For some children, you're going to want to try to take some L-theanine in the morning as it helps calm them down, focus their brain as they're moving into their school day. You'll have to play with the morning dose, but most kids and adults benefit from the L-theanine before bed and has a transcending effect on the next day for them. Okay, ashwagandha is a second love to go to supplement. Ashwagandha is a herb that's called an adaptogen, helps relax the adrenal glands, calm the nervous system, and is best used for anxiety. So if somebody has just a lack of focus and these classic ADHD symptoms, L-theanine is the one to run to. But if you have somebody that really feels like anxiety is high and elevated and they're not sleeping well, then ashwagandha. So again, this one is best taken at dinner or before bed. If you find that you're the person running around using this anxiety as a mechanism to fuel you to get stuff done, then taking it at dinner may not be the best time, as it will calm you down and then you're ready for bed. But if you take it right before bed, then you calm down and you're ready for bed. It's not generally considered to make you drowsy, but if you're running in that fight or flight mode and it pulls you out of flight, then you're going to want to rest and digest. Okay. Your omega-3 fatty acids. Now these are a real interesting one. Omega-3 fatty acids can be super beneficial for young people, but also for anybody over the age of 30. Helps balance out triglycerides, reduces inflammation in the brain and in joints, and is also brain food. We want to stay away from omega-6 fatty acids. Your omega-3 fatty acids are generally found in fish, There's a really good omega-3 fatty acid that is from algae. Much more expensive. Most people find that if they get a good quality, what they call Norwegian cold water omega-3 fish oil, works fantastic. So magnesium helps relax the body, helps relax the muscle groups, helps with anxiety, helps with sleep, just overall helps the body calm down. This is available in many supplements, and it's also in a lot of nutrients-rich foods. Magnesium, however, can act like a laxative if you're getting too much. And so for those who can swallow pills, generally we don't want to exceed 400 milligrams in a day. Usually I suggest starting about with 200 to help relax. If you're constipated, magnesium is not a bad option to increase that till it does have a minor laxative effect. So let's talk about B vitamins next. B vitamins are super important, especially B6 and B12. B12 supports energy production, and B6 is also a component of which your body creates adrenaline from. But adrenaline and cortisol are produced, and when it's produced in the body, it gives you energy, but it becomes inactive once it's been used, and that inactive cortisol causes tension up in the neck and in the shoulders and gives you a feeling of stress. And so if you burned all of your B6 up on the increase of adrenaline or cortisol and you don't have enough to break that down, then you need more B6 so that you can break it down and get it out. You nourish your adrenal glands with B6 also, and so your B vitamins are super important. We want to be taking these in a complex, not a singular B12. That will cause you to have a burn down, meaning your B12 will feed your adrenal glands and your adrenal gland behavior will get worse, and then you can only stay in that kind of situation for so long before you have a crash. Zinc is another one that helps with the immune system. It helps with hormones. It helps with some brain functions. Zinc is often found in a multivitamin. It's really good in beans, nuts, and whole grains, but one of the things about zinc, especially for males, active males that are sweating a lot, maybe you have a child that's sweaty, they may use more zinc. And a sure sign that somebody is low in zinc is if they have warts. Warts are caused by low zinc in most cases. So increasing the zinc is appropriate. Adults, an adult male who's physically active can easily take 30 milligrams a day. A woman could take somewhere around 20, and children can take anywhere from 11 to 15. And if you're sick, then you can easily consume upwards around 25 to 30 milligrams if you're a child. And again, only while sick, you could consume as an adult upwards between 30 milligrams and 50 milligrams a day. So I want to encourage you to persist with this. If you've used natural remedies and supplements in the past and you have found benefit, I'd love to hear about it. Part of this is being in community and sharing what we've learned with others, right? Because not everything works as good for one person as another. So it's good to hear other sides. I want to share an example of a gentleman in his early 20s who just felt like he couldn't focus, just felt like he couldn't move his business that he had started to the next level because he felt like he couldn't focus. And for him, getting the supplements in to help him sleep, and then accompanying that with a clean diet of eliminating what we're going to talk about in the next video are the foods that cause you to have struggles, and bringing in good food, it changed his life. Did it mean that he didn't still struggle with some ADHD symptoms? No, but what it meant is now he could focus on being successful and developing his superpowers, as we could call them, for ADHD. And he said he'll never go back, meaning never go back to not having supplements, never go back to putting junk food in our mouths. And he said to me, and this is so profound in its simplicity, he says, why are we even putting junk food in our mouth? It says it's junk food, right? And we can make a lot of things that taste good that aren't junk food. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. It's going to be super exciting to be able to take you to the next step that's going to help push you along, get you over this ADHD hurdle, and then we're going to give you more tools to work with in the next video.